What is going on, my beautiful people? We're back with another episode on the Unfiltered Empire Network. Today, we're back with your host, Mello. We're going to talk another deep conversation about why critical thinking is the most important skill today. We are lacking critical thinking. We're in a world that's flooded with a bunch of information, and now we have to learn how do we separate the truth from the noise. And that's critical thinking. Critical thinking is going to make us see what's the truth compared to all the rubbish that's put out there for us to believe. We live in a time where making quick judgments can cost more than you think, for being completely honest. And we're going to explore how we can sharpen our mind to where that's no longer an option no more. So it's like we don't need to make quick judgments about things. We don't need to make a decision off of our emotions. We don't have to do that anymore because there's skills we can learn to help us get past that little hump that we're in. Because it's normal. We all are in that hump. We've all been in that hump before. We've all experienced something just like that. It's not like, oh, you have to think this way, you have to move this way, you have to. No, everyone has their own unique way of doing this. But at the same time, we have to realize the danger and the harm we can cause on ourselves by making quick judgments about things and not critically thinking. We're in an overload of information. Right now we have social media so liable to us. We can get any news we want in this world. We can learn about something in India, China, Russia, anywhere. We can learn about anything. And the crazy but sad part about it, which is cool, but anyone can put this news out in the media now. So you have anyone saying something. You have like they don't have to have no jurisdiction in that area. They don't have to have no knowledge in that area. They could just put something out there to get people thinking, which they really don't, but then to get people feeling a certain type of way. So we have to peep what's on social media. Where are we getting our news from? Where are we looking at news? Where are we actually getting our information from? We're constantly bombarded with opinions disguised as facts. Without critical thinking, how do we know if what we're hearing is the truth? Because if you can't critically break that down, you won't never know what the truth is. You can tell yourself something over and over and over, and you're gonna believe it. And then if you continuously continue to tell yourself these things over and over, and you tell it to other people around you, they're gonna start believing what you're thinking. It's a trickle down effect. They're gonna all start believing your truth, and your truth is made up from your reality. It's not the reality; it's your reality. So you're making up this life story, this life path that's based off of your perspective of things, not the truth of things. I'm a truth seeker. I'm a truth barrier. I want to know the truth about things. I want to find out the truth before I talk to people about certain things. I don't want to go into arguments or information. I don't want to actually go into conversation with people if I don't at least have some type of truth based knowledge of where I'm coming from when I'm talking to somebody. Because a lot of the conversations that people have nowadays are emotional based. They're not truth based. They're very emotional based. A lot of information is pushed to us, and a lot of this information is made to make us feel a certain type of way. 99% of the times when you see a lot of these things on social media, they're not out here to actually benefit you. There is a 1% of it that is benefiting you. There is a big percentage of it that teaches you something, but then they're trying to sell you something. They're trying to get your money. There's not a lot of things out here that's naturally trying to give you free resources and free help on getting past whatever level you're at right now in your life. Because there's always a higher level. That critical thinking is that higher level. I can retain so many times in my life where I made a thought of my sore emotion. I emotionally thought about the situation. I didn't fully think deeply or critically think on what was actually the outcome of this in the next couple of years. But then I ended up getting bit right in my ass. My thought pattern when I was emotionally thinking led me to make a decision that hurt me in the future because I emotionally couldn't even see the future. I was just seeing right then and there in the moment and how I feel about the decision I'm making. If I would have sat back and just gave it a little bit of logical, critical thinking, because remember, you can't think logically if you're thinking emotionally. You can't do both at the same time. So if I thought logical in the moment of what does the future look like after I make this decision, I would never have made the decision. Like there's so many times that you can realize things and then don't fix it, or you realize it and hope it fixes itself. But when you learn the habits of critical thinking, you realize it and you fix it. You nip it in the butt right then and there. Decision making is crucial right now, especially right now in this time we're living in this politic time. There's a new president about to come into office. There's a lot of wars going on in the world. The food we're given is very consumed with a bunch of chemicals. The water we drink is disgusting 99% of the time. The things we watch on TV is not benefiting us. So you have to make decisions to get the right information now. And you have to actually go out and seek what you're really trying to get. Because you're going to go out and seek something. But if you're not really having a perspective of what you're looking for, and drama, fake news, and a bunch of scandals could be what you're seeking. But that shows where your mind is. Because what does that do for your higher self? Every decision you make should factor into what your higher self is going to be in the future. Your future is what really matters. You're living every day for your future. So all the decisions you make right now might not impact you right in this moment, but it impacts you in your future. And we know that by the things that happen in our life. It shows us that every day. All of our decisions that we make show that every day. Every decision you make, from what to believe to what action to take, can be influenced by who or what is in your ear. Without critical thinking, we end up following instead of leading. A lot of people are followers. A lot of people follow their parents, their family, their grandparents, their sister, their brother. A lot of people follow people. And one thing I remember from when I was a kid is, don't be a follower, be a leader. I don't want to be in line with everybody. I want to be the one leading the line of everybody. Because if I follow everyone, I don't know where their thought process is coming from. I don't know where they got the information from. I don't know how deep they thought into their belief. A lot of people have beliefs in a lot of different things. A lot of people have their belief in what they think, what they feel, what they God, their eating beliefs, their relationship beliefs. A lot of people have a lot of these beliefs. We all do. But then it boils down to, where are you getting that belief from? Did you critically think on the information that you got to inherit that belief into your system? That's where you're going to get down to your people, your kids, your generations ahead of you in the future. Do you want that belief to keep going on in a cycle? Do you want that belief to be in your cycle of living, where next year, next 2 years, you're doing the same thing because you still believe the same thing? It's the small things. It's the small things that a lot of people don't notice. That's why I bring up food. Food is something you have to do every single day. You have to eat every day. You have to drink water every day. You have to do simple things every day. You got to brush your teeth every day. You got to get up, take a shower, clean up yourself. Those are things you do every single day. Now, we all have different standpoints on how we do those things all day long. We all eat differently. We all brush our teeth a different way. We all use a different toothbrush. We use a different toothpaste. But we have the critical knowledge of knowing that those consistent habits will keep us alive in good hygiene. If I don't brush my teeth, if I don't take a shower, I'm going to smell bad and people are not going to want to be around me. If I don't eat, if I don't drink water, or let me not say drink water, if I do not hydrate myself, I will not make it far. I'm only going to live so long until my body breaks down naturally. But I know from critical thinking and seeing the results of what I'm doing that I have to do these things, and these are what's right for me. But the deeper part to it that a lot of people just like kind of don't really look at that much is, I know these things are made for me to do, but how am I going to do it to benefit my life the best way? So when I talk about eating, I'm talking about the food we put in our body. We have to eat, but your critical thinking is what's going to lead you to pick the right food to put in your body, because your emotional thinking is going to lead you to put whatever is available to you in your body. And that can be the worst thing possible for you. That can lead you to sickness in the future. But we need to critically think on what we're eating. So when we look at what we're putting in our body, we're thinking about next 2, 5, 10 years from now. Is my body going to be the way I want it to be in my head, the way I vision, especially if I'm going to the gym? Is it going to get me that dream body that I want if I'm putting all this garbage in my body? I don't believe that. I don't think that's what happens. You can be a freak of nature, and that's a one in a million type of thing. So we just have to realize that decision making is key in this age of influence that we live in. We are influenced every single day. Every day you turn the phone on, every day you watch the TV, every day you go outside, every day you talk to somebody, they are influencing you. It's up to you what you take in to influence yourself and your soul, and what you push to the side. Critical thinking is going to decipher what you allow in and what you push to the side. You can allow the right things in, but you also can vice versa allow the wrong things in and push the right things to the side, because of your emotions and because of you not being able to critical think. A lot of people take that as a slap in the face or disrespectful when someone says they're not critically thinking. But you don't need a PhD or a bachelor's degree to critically think. You don't. You really don't. I promise you, you don't need one. And when someone talks about it, they don't have to have one of those things to tell you they're a critical thinker. Their actions and what they do in their day-to-day life shows if someone's a critical thinker or not. It shows what you did in your past. My past shows that I did not critically think on things. I'm in certain situations in my life right now that shows this dude was not critically thinking of what he was doing. The decision he made back then, yeah, bro, I don't know what you were doing or what you were thinking, but you did it. And since you did that, now you have to live with that in the future. That's your future. Like, it's gonna impact you in some way, shape, or form. It could be a car, it could be a child, it could be anything. It could be anything. It could be something you did to your hair. It could be anything. But that's how critical it is, because it could be anything. That's why it's so important to start paying attention to like what we're doing. It's the most important part. We have to pay attention to what we're doing. So here are some little key tips on how you can actually just work on your critical thinking. First, you have to look at where you get information from and who are you listening to every day. Are you listening to someone that's at a higher level and where you want to be in your life? Because when you can learn the higher version of where you want to be, say for instance, I want to be a NBA owner. I'm going to go look at the best NBA owners in NBA history and then listen to how they think and how they process things in their mind. Because then I can inherit those abilities that they have from consuming them. So it's really, what are you consuming? What are you watching? What are you tuning into? What are you listening to? That's the biggest part of critical thinking. If you're listening to a dumbass, what do you think you're going to do? If you listen to someone that's not smart, what type of decision do you think you're gonna be making? You're just gonna make it in your own unique way of what they're doing. It's not gonna be the exact same thing, but it's gonna be something in your unique way that makes it just like what the other person would do. Imagine the other end of that stick. If you're listening to someone with a lot of knowledge, they're exactly where you want to be in your they're exactly where you want to be in your mind, where you see yourself in the next couple of years. They're exactly there. They're doing everything they can in their life to keep it and maintain it, and it's working for them. So I'm gonna listen to those type of people because I see from my outcome, from my life, that's what I want, and I'm gonna get it in my own unique way. But the mindset of them is gonna help me get it even faster in my way. So consumption is big. Consumption is That's the biggest part of it. And then read, like read and get smarter. Get a little smarter. We don't like to read that much. Like I sometimes stop reading at times and take little breaks. I'm trying to stop that because reading is so important. Reading is one of the most important things that you really can do. If I'm being honest, you heard what they said. If you want to hide something from a black man, where do you put it? You put it in a book. Because 99% of us don't read a book. The cheat codes to a lot of these things in life is in a book, but we just don't take the time. We're so busy doing stuff we shouldn't really be doing. And I can attend to this myself because this is even me talking to myself. We're so busy doing all the things that don't matter that we push the things that matter to the side. And then when it's time for the reality to hit our ass, we see that the things we push to the side is what we should have been doing the whole time. But we don't even peep that for real. And we have to start peeping that because it is important. That's another big gem right there. It's important to read. It's important to keep educating yourself. School is not the only way to educate yourself. School is not the only way to educate yourself. We have so much resources, just like how we have all these news resources. We have the same knowledge-based resources in our fingertips every day. We're just choosing not to use it in that way. We're choosing to scroll and just look at a bunch of nonsense instead of reading what's really meant for us to learn. It's time to challenge your assumptions. Think deeper and master the art of critical thinking. The power to control your life and decisions lie in your ability to question and evaluate. It's that simple. It's a hard journey, of course. Everything in life is a journey. But we all have a roadmap in front of us. We just have to see it. We have to give it a chance to form itself in front of us, and then we just run down the road. We're gonna fall, we're gonna trip, we're gonna stumble. Shit, we might break a leg, we might break an ankle, we might do something. But we're on that road going forward. We're not going backwards, because when we stop critically thinking, we're going backwards. We can't go forward if we're going backwards. So that's all I want to leave you with today. It's a short, quick video, man. I just wanted to come out here and tell you, like, we're in a crisis of people not critically thinking. And you see by the actions people are doing, like, you see by the things people are doing to their kids. You see by the way people are treating their bodies. Like, this isn't just me, like, bashing people. There's no way you can look around America right now and think that we are critical thinkers. We aren't. The things that are going on today shows a lot of these people aren't even thinking for real. They believe everything they see, and then they're just so consumed in all of that that it's like, damn, you're so gullible, you're so easy to manipulate, and then you cry when you get manipulated. You're getting manipulated on purpose. You're allowing yourself to get manipulated. You don't want to get the knowledge to teach yourself how not to get manipulated. So you're going to keep getting manipulated. And it's just time we change that, man. It's time we change that. I'm not perfect. I'm gonna keep sending out every single video. I have so many things I gotta work on myself. This is like a checkup for me as well. It's a self-check. Hey, check yourself, man. Are you critically thinking in these things you're doing in your life right now? And if you're not, fix it. Get right back to the game. We all got the power to do this. And if you are doing this, keep going. Tell other people around you to do the same thing. That's all. That's the real difference maker. Tell everyone around you to critically think. If you see someone in your circle not thinking critically, bro, check them. Check them. And if they get butthurt, then you know that's not the person for you. If I can't check you on your bullshit, you're not the person that needs to be in my life. And then if I do some bullshit, check me. Because I'm gonna want you to do the same thing I do to you to me. Because I care about you. It's that simple, man. We in some trial times. We are in some trial times. And it's time we just turn up for once. Like, especially as a human culture. Like, we gotta turn up. We're turning up in the wrong way. Let's turn up and get smarter. Let's turn up and take some shit over for real. Because we have the power. We got enough people. But we're not in unison. We're not. We're all individual people that's divided against each other. We have to change that and become one group of people. I bet money will change the whole damn world and like that. But 98, 99, whatever number it got to be, a lot of us don't think. Start thinking and see your life change. My thinkers, I appreciate y'all for watching. If you're still tuned in, I'll ask you to like and share. And a follow. Subscribe. We'll be back with another one. Peace.